What's up, nerds? So, Adepticon is coming up very soon. At the time of filming this, it's like 2 weekends away, and I am playing in the Long Wars double tournament with Ben, who you've seen from other videos on this channel, battle reports, and things like that. And we're playing Imperial Knights, me, and he's bringing his Chaos Knights, and so it's kind of like a opposite force there. But one thing about this tournament which is interesting is a lot of people make display boards because you get scored on not only how well you play, but how well your army is painted, as well as other hobby points, I think they're called. So people like to make these elaborate display boards and really cool stuff to show off their armies. So that's what I'm going to do today, or at least start today. I'm going to make a display board for our armies, and I had this really cool idea of making like a cathedral that's half pristine and half of it's ruined, and kind of showcasing Imperium and Chaos in one board, since we got Knights and Chaos Knights. So I'm going to just get started on that. I know I don't have a whole lot of time to build this board, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to still record it and kind of document my progress and everything on that. So it's not going to be the fancy, higher production kind of crafting video that I usually do for this kind of thing, but I think it'll still be fun and interesting to watch. So let's get started. Alright, so I got some foam here. I already made some cuts with this because I was trying to figure out the size of the board that I wanted. But I used a foam cutter that I got for Christmas from my parents this year, which is really nice. It's one of those Proxxon hot foam wire cutters, so I was able to make some nice straight cuts, kind of like a table saw for foam. And so I kind of have a rough idea of what I want to do already, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I want it to be a little bit wider than it is long. So you remember last year, I did a video last year where I made a display board. It was definitely more form over fashion. It was magnetic display board, really cool for like local tournaments and things like that. But I wanted something that's kind of more of like a diorama to fit the mood of this tournament better. So what I'm gonna do is this is gonna be the base of my cathedral right here. And then we're gonna have like some cathedral walls kind of going like this, and then going against this back wall here. And then we're gonna probably put I wanted like a raised platform in the back to put some models up there so you can see them, and then have everything else down in front. And then I want to do a staircase, so we're like inside the cathedral. So we're going to have some stairs here going up to this level, and then in the middle, I thought it'd be really cool if we had just kind of like half of an Aquila here. You know, this is my poor drawing of an eagle Aquila, and like some sort of maybe like gold in the floor, and then over here on this half we have, you know, our Chaos star, and the ground is going to be all like torn up. You know, we'll have like our lava cracks and things like that on the ground, and it'll be glowing red and lava-y, and over here will be like this nice pristine marble tile floor with like this nice gold Aquila in the middle, and then we have the cathedral walls and everything. So we're gonna see how it all comes together, but this is kind of the rough mock-up of what I want to do. But I want to also have a more firm base down here. So I'm going to take some extra pieces of hardboard that I have, the MDF hardboard, and I'm just going to cut a base to size so I can start gluing this all together and then start actually building this thing. I'm going to measure this to size, so cut. Like that. I'm going to take this out to my garage and cut this with my saw, and I'll be right back. Got some liquid nails. Stuff is supposed to be good for gluing foam. I've never used it before. I've just used PVA in the past, but I see a lot of terrain makers use this stuff, so it's supposed to be pretty good. So we're gonna give it a shot. Start pumping this through. Much better. Oh, this stuff is messy. That is for sure. Get here. Actually, I should be applying it to this side since. All right. So I've been 3D printing some pieces of the cathedral. This stuff is almost done. Looks like we got another half hour on this print. So we're printing up some walls there, and just ignore all this. I already printed up some of these earlier. So this is some really cool pieces. So there's like a busted up window. We got a full intact window. So I was kind of playing out the layout before figuring out how many pieces I need. But basically we got the destroyed half and then we got the pristine half that's going to go up 2 layers. That's going to go along the back here. So what I want to do is I want to build up this floor because with some cork tile sheets, because I think that would make a nice ground texture, and I can carve the cracked earth into this this cork sheet for the Star of Chaos. But then I also want to have it under here so that it's the same level of the ground. And then I'm going to put some tile over here, and I was going to use some cardstock, but I was afraid of that warping when I start painting it. So what I'm going to do instead is I read online you can use plasticard, but plasticard can be kind of hard to find sometimes. But I did find these garage sale signs at the hardware store, and they're pretty thin, but I think this will be perfect. So I can just paint the marble texture on here, cut these up into like a grid, and then I'll have my tiles. And then there's also the Aquila that I want in the middle. So I have to figure out that too. But I'm going to measure this out and find the exact center and then center everything from there. So I printed out this Aquila online. And I'm going to just use this as like a stencil. Carefully fitting this with an X-Acto knife. Alright, see, the quill is going to go roughly here, which means I want to dissect. And I'm going to sketch in the Star of Chaos. So the wingspan is about 5 inches. So I'm going to go out 5 inches from the center here. I'm going to also cut it on an angle. I got the Chaos Star cut out. I think I'm going to not do the inner ring, just do the outer ring. But I'm going to glue this down with my adhesive. Alright, I got the cork all glued down, the liquid nails. I'm going to make my staircase. I want it to come out 2 inches from here. So I'm gonna just make that out of foam core, this foam board. Let's see here. So I'm gonna push this flush against here. I'm gonna mark out 2 inches. Measure 1.5 inches. Gotta roll with it. Got all my steps cut. I can just push them all back here. And each step is roughly ½ an inch wide. So it's coming together very nicely. Next, I gotta figure out what to do with these tiles. Well, I should get the walls placed down so I know where the footprint is. So what I think I'm going to do is just cut out some 6" by 6" tiles and then tile the floor with that. Cool, got all the tiles made and placed. Yeah, throw these away, little scraps. And I want to make sure I don't lose any of these because these are going to be very important. My work knife here, mess up these stairs. I'm gonna take my hot wire cutter with this fat tip end. I'm gonna use it to dig into the foam a little bit underneath. Alright, next I am going to put Mod Podge all over this. I don't have Mod Podge, but I can make some with some black paint, some glue, and some water. So I'm going to get this all sealed up and ready for priming. Glue. I'm just kind of eyeballing these. A little bit of water. good stir with my brush here. Got this Mod Podge layer all spread out. We're gonna let this dry and wash off my brush. And I think my 3D printer done, so I'm gonna go peel those off. And yeah, gonna let this dry and then figure out how I want to proceed. But I think I want to start painting tiles, so I'm gonna get those ready to prime with the rattle can and start painting those soon. The Mod Podge is still drying. It's taking a long time. I may have added a little bit too much water, but that's okay. So I got the tiles. These are primed in gray, so I'm going to be painting marble on them. I can figure out how to do that still. But then I got all this terrain I printed. This stuff is pretty cool. It's made by this creator called Fabricator's Lair. There's a lot of them I subscribe to. Fabricator's Lair, but they make really cool stuff. So this is the Gothic Sector Templaris terrain, it's called. And it is all modular grimdark stuff. So like these all slide together and fit together. And there's like interlocking pieces. So I'm just gonna finish building the walls for the cathedral, and I'm gonna glue some stuff down. And then I'm gonna go get this primed so that I can start actually painting it and putting it on the board and mounting it. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. Glue this together. Up as best as possible. I figured if I glue it together it'll be a little bit stronger. Alright, so next I gotta paint these tiles in a marble kind of pattern. I think I'm just gonna do this with maybe some sponge paint. Sponge them on. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some paints and see if I can figure out how to do this. I'm gonna try to paint this marble. Just be using some sponges and a big old nasty brush. Okay. I'm gonna do that. I can grab this brush. Get a little bit on there. Work it in the bristles. I'm just gonna stab at the tiles in a random motion. This is already looking really good. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of white, mix it in with that gray. Get an even lighter gray. Alright, so this is what I got so far. Marble floors. Not too bad, I don't think. Alright, it is now day 2. This is everything I got done yesterday. Really happy with the way this is turning out. I got the building all primed. I got it placed in here. I have to glue it down still, but I'm going to be painting this today. I'm working on the right-hand side of the ground here, painting the stairs. And I also need to finish painting up these tiles, the marble. It's turning out really well. I'm liking it. I just need to add some veins everywhere and then paint the Aquila gold. And yeah, start putting the rest of the board together. So it's starting to come together. I'm not quite sure what I want to do in the walls here. I'm thinking maybe brightening these up a little bit with like some closer to like ivory, dry brush all around, and then kind of paint all the metal details. That's going to take a while. But on this half, I think I want to make it really grimy, like maybe streaking grime everywhere and really corroded looking, to really emphasize the chaos half of the board. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I also need to figure out what I want to do for the ground, what kind of coloring I want to do. I'm thinking maybe like a brownish red, gray, and then make the chaos cracks all glowing lava, like, you know, I think that would look really cool. But yeah, I'm going to finish up the marble first, and then start kind of placing the tiles down, and then probably paint the stairs next, and go from there. Alright, so the marbling is almost all done. I just need to paint the gold on the Aquila, and I'm just going to be using some Pro Acrylic for that. And this will be pretty much all done on this side, and then I'll have to work on the other side of the table. Alright, so the stairs is going to be another story because this is half destroyed, half pristine. I'm going to try to maybe make it look like marble, at least for half of it. So I'll just start with taking this pewter gray. Just want like a little bit, not need much. I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much coat the whole thing. Kind of same as before. Probably should have done this all at once. I'm gonna go up to about here, and I'm just gonna stop with the just go really light. I want this to transition into like darkness over here on this chaos side. And do very a little bit over on the chaos side, not too much. Alright, so this looks pretty good. We're gonna have like the marble tiles in here. Oh, this is gonna look so cool. But I'm gonna paint this half of the table now and really wreck that up for chaos. So I'm just gonna move our building down, and I'm gonna grab my palette. So I'm using this color nutmeg brown. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of red. Just the smallest amount there. We're gonna mix this all up and hopefully get a nice red, brownish color. And I'm just gonna kind of stipple this around. I think stippling is the theme here. It's nice and easy. Get some real natural looking textures. I am a fan. I'm gonna do that all again. This will also dry darker. Stuff goes on light and it dries dark. Starting with red. Got a little bit of red left in here. I'm gonna mix some yellow in there to make it orange. I'm gonna go a little bit more focused. The next color is going to do straight up yellow. Now there's some yellow left in there. I'm going to do that again, but mix in some pure white to make it even brighter and more intense. And now I'm going to try something experimental here. I'm going to use this radiation glow and just see how that looks on one of these cracks. And if it looks good, then I'm going to do it everywhere. Okay, this is pretty intense. Okay, yeah. So maybe if I just water this down a little bit. Do it more as like an inner glaze. But I started, so I'm going to finish. I do like how it's blending with the yellows and the oranges underneath, creating an interesting variation in color. Alright, here's the chaos half of the board, looking pretty good. I do like the orange effect paint, it really blends in nicely with everything else. So now I just gotta paint the walls. To do that, I'm going to be doing some dry brushes but with Ushadi Bone and this Pro Acryl Bright Ivory. Just be taking this big brush here, this makeup brush, and I'm going to apply a very generous Next, I'm going to go with this dry brush of the bright ivory. It's already looking much nicer, that dry brush on there. So now I think I just gotta paint all these windows. I'm gonna do that in a metallic color probably. Anyway, that's gonna take a while. I'm gonna do that off camera. Alright, it is day 3. I'm hoping to get this finished today because I don't want to keep working on this until leading up to Adepticon. I just want to get it done and out of the way, so I'm going to try to finish this up tonight. So what I need to do is glue down these tiles, which I love the way these turned out, by the way. I think they look great. Looks like marble up close. You can see the veins. It just ties together so nicely. Then I need to glue down the gold inlay for the center. It's going to look really cool. But I also need to cut these tiles to size so that they fit nicely on the building. And then I need to glue everything down and then do some final weathering on the building. And then I also want to add some grass back here on the pristine side of the table. So I'm going to get started and get everything all glued down. But first I'm going to get these tiles cut to size. Yay. Some rubbing alcohol. Alright, now I'm going to try something I haven't used before. Some streaking grime and some rust streaks. I'm going to dirty up this whole side. So I'm going to start with the streaking grime. I also got some 2 junky brushes. Whew, it's very potent. I can smell it already. So what I think I'm going to try to do is just dilute this with some mineral spirits and just kind of apply it as a wash. I know there's a lot of different ways you can use this stuff. Some people coat the whole thing in it and then they brush it away with some mineral spirits and a cotton swab. Some people, you apply it and then you go back and you kind of do it as written on the bottle, and you wash it away with a clean brush with some thinners. But I'm just going to take a little bit. We're going to do a little test down here. Ooh, yeah, I like that. It's got a nice grimy wash. The thinner works really well, actually. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm just gonna burn out the ruins. Well, I don't have Ben's army to showcase the display board with both of our armies, but I do have some knights I can throw on here to kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. So we have the Chaos half and the Imperium half. So Ben's going to have his Chaos Knights over here, and I'm going to have my Imperial Knights over here, and we're going to have our combined 2K list for the Long War Doubles Tournament at Adepticon. I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. With the Imperial Knights and the Chaos Knights facing off on the same team. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what other cool display boards the other players will have. There's always really cool stuff to see every year, so I'm really looking forward to that. Well, if you like this video, you like this terrain build, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, and if you like what we do here on the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I try to post a video every other week, if possible. Anything ranging from battle reports to crafting videos like this or painting tutorials. So if that's your kind of thing, you like Warhammer and miniatures, well, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Alright, well, I will leave us at that. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!